New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Greetings, beloveds. How are you? Reverend Michelle Wadleigh here to present to you this November 13th, 2021, the Science of Mind lecture series. And today we're talking about being gratitude. And I'm so glad that you're here, and I want to give a warm word of gratitude for the Reverend Victoria for last week's lesson. And I know that you'll all be happy to know that the incomparable Dr. Tracy Brown will be returning to us next Saturday to pick up the baton once again and continue the lessons. And I don't know all of what is happening, but I know that next year, Reverend Robert and the team of his team of merry bandits are already getting ready for next year for a whole year's theme because this has been so wonderfully received and successful. And so I'm just here, glad you're here with me on this day. Now, I don't know where you are in the world. I'm sitting in a little town called Danville, New Jersey. We're a little lake town. We have lots of little lakes. Nothing, and when I say little, I mean like 99-acre lakes, some that aren't even allowed any kind of motorboats. And so it's very much a sleepy suburban town surrounded by, pretty average Americans and lots of trees and green. And I am sitting in the middle of a fall scene, just the most stunning fall scene that the Northeast knows. So if you're from the Southwest, I don't think you have that from what I know. But every year we go through the northern part, especially in the Northeast. I don't even know about the Midwest. I'm not so sure what happens out there. It has to be somewhat the same. Actually, that's not true. I just drove through Pennsylvania and it was stunning. So it's this gift of nature. It's a gift. And so what happens is those of us who live in this area, we stay here because, Southern California is beautiful and Colorado and all that's beautiful. But this area where I live, and now what I want you to surmise from what I'm saying is my gratitude. Okay, this is about being gratitude. We're close enough to civilization in New York City if we want that craziness, and the culture of New York City where we have easy access to it. We have and we have mountains, and we have streams, and we have lakes, and rivers. So you can you can be, not unlike Southern California. Also, you could be at the beach in the morning and up in the mountains, which would not be snow topped, although during the season, all in a very short time. I mean, New Jersey is a tiny little state. But in the meantime, the jewel tones that come out in the fall, and you drive down the streets and you go, because the trees are red and orange and yellow, and the maples turn this like a magenta, this beautiful magenta color. And so it is difficult not to get into the, I mean, You, most normal people, yes, there could be exceptions, but you move or you glide. Let me say you glide gently into the state of gratitude because everywhere you look, Mother Nature is feeding back to you that life is good and that life is abundant and that it's beautiful. And so I've been, you know, living in this. Matter of fact, when a couple of weeks ago, Reverend Robert was out there with us. We drove out to Unity Village. Yes, yes, ocean fishing, lake fishing, surfing, skiing. Yes, we have it all here. And we drove out to Missouri Unity Village. And on the way out, state of Pennsylvania is a long state. It was just barely changing, but on the way back, the colors really started to change, and it was just breathtaking. I mean, I like to sleep in a car, but I didn't want to sleep then because I didn't want to miss the beauty. And so Maya Angelou said, "This is a wonderful day. I have never seen this one before. This is a wonderful day. I have never seen this one before." For many years, when I used to open up on a Sunday morning in my community, definitely pre COVID, life is a little different right now. I know you all know. And my statement every morning or every Sunday morning is I start with, "This is the most glorious day of my life." And someone every once in a while will say to me, "Well, how could this be the most glorious day if yesterday was the most glorious day?" Because every day that I get to wake up is a glorious day. And so I'll translate that into every day that I wake up gets to be a day of gratitude. Now, if you have not traveled to a third world country, you might not be able to appreciate what we have here in this country. It's because it just poses a very striking difference. When I was on a volunteer vacation, and it was in the Dominican Republic, and a long time ago now. And although it really transformed my life, until you've been someplace where there are not paved roads, where there is not public sewage, where there is not water running, until you have seen that, or maybe until you have taken the time to count the blessings of what's in front of you, you are missing the sweetness of life. Gratitude is not natural to all people. Matter of fact, I read this whole very long white paper on the science of gratitude. And evidently some of us are wired to be in that state of gratitude, and some of us are not. So when I went on that vacation, I came home, and what began to happen for me is I began to practice gratitude like in a silent way, like having paved roads, and then having what some of us might complain about. Well, you can call them stoplights or you call them traffic lights. I don't like to call them stoplights because what does that indicate? Because there are just as many green lights as there are red, right? So why don't we call it a go light? Anyway, I digress. But the having the traffic lights that keep you safe. Traffic lights keep you safe. Stop signs keep you safe. For everything that there is in life, for everything that maybe at one point you and I might not value or feel good about, or maybe even complain about a little bit, I'm I'm here to say to you, if you put on a different view, if you change your view of what it is you're looking at, you will take from that thing, you will take from that experience an essence and a way of being that actually transforms your body temple. Because we live life by means of this body temple. So, the beautiful thing about the science of mind is we get to learn how to cultivate our thinking so that our thinking has the so that our thinking sets us up for to be evolved and inspired, and to constantly, experience an evolution of our own soul, our own being. Practicing and being gratitude will be, if you haven't done it before, will be one of the most direct uh, pa- uh, passages. It will have not passage. It'll be one of the most direct resources, excuse me, sources of evolution of your own beingness. That is, okay. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to take you into a short guided meditation, and I'd like to ask you for just a couple of minutes to really lend yourself to letting go of what you think is so, and just join me in having a reframing of your life. Okay. Afterwards, and if you're watching me on Facebook in a way that you have access to a keyboard or on your phone, I'm going to ask you to even share your experience. Okay. Because what I'd like to do is I'd like to take us to a really present moment, time, a really present time experience. And I'm going to have you look around at certain things and to have a new sight. Okay? So if you will, join me for just a couple of minutes. Begin by stopping whatever you're doing. Just just for a couple of minutes, just stop. Stop moving, stop shifting, stop writing, stop cleaning. If you're driving, be safe. If you're somebody who likes to keep your hands busy, for this couple of minutes, let go of the craft that you're doing and move into your breath in an extremely conscious way. Feel that breath. Truly feel the breath. Feel your chest rise and fall, or if you breathe properly, feel your belly expand and contract, and then be aware that that's set up in the automatic part of your brain, so you don't have to try to breathe. But be grateful for that breath, because if another one didn't come, oh, you would want it so much. Now, while you have slowed down in your breathing, pay attention to your listening. You're hearing me. You might be hearing sounds beyond me. Maybe family in the background. Maybe cars. Maybe traffic. Maybe animals. Often from my home, I hear the local train going by. So I hear the whistling. What do you hear? Be grateful for your hearing. Breathe and listen. Breathe and listen. Now, where is it that you're sitting? Are you sitting someplace where you're safe? Express gratitude inside. If you're in your home or in your car, the fact that you can sit down safely. Are you protected from the elements? Be grateful for that. Turn all of your attention to all of these things that so often you take for granted. Whatever device that I'm coming to you on, a phone, a computer, be grateful for the technology. Be grateful, not only be grateful for the technology, be grateful for the New Thought Media Network that brings you programming. Be grateful for how available this is to you. Be grateful. Feel it. Don't take it for granted. Now, I would like you to think about the last meal that you ate. I want to ask you, no matter what you ate, whether it was eggs or cereal or a salad, did you grow that food? Now, maybe you did. There could be people here that went out and plucked some food out of their garden. And what a luxury and beauty that is. Oh, isn't that something to be grateful for? For most of us, think about the hundreds, if not thousands of people that it took to get that food to your table. For example, if it's a box of cereal, the grain that had to be grown, it had to be farmed, it had to be collected, it had to be processed. Then it had to be boxed. It had to be in a warehouse. Someone had to carry it to and fro. All the people in the office that worked to organize it, to keep the inventory, to make the sales. Oh, the marketing. You might not know about it. That spoon of cereal that you put in your mouth this morning represents hundreds of individuals. Every time you put a morsel of food in your mouth, unless you actively grew it and harvested it, it took hundreds of people. So just breathe in that reality. What about the clothes on your back? Did you make them? Maybe you did. Did you create the material? Maybe you did. Did you grow that which turned into the fibers for the material? Less likely, but possibly. Or did you have the luxury of either walking into a store or ordering it online? Every day when you put clothes on, do you say thank you to the hundreds of people that it took to dress you? When you use the shower in your home, do you bless and express gratitude for the systems that are running that bring water into your home? Feel into that. Now I could go on. I could go on for hours. But I ask you right now just to live into the expanded awareness of all the things there are to be grateful for. And go back to paying attention to your breath again. And then when you're ready, come back in the room and open your eyes. So if you were participating and if you're here with us live, I encourage you to share. What was that like? What is it like to expand your awareness that every single, I'm Reverend Robert and I both share a love of mala beads. I get to I get to purchase these beads and wear them. I didn't make them. I didn't mine them. I didn't. I didn't. I didn't polish them. I didn't string them. I purchased them. So what I'm trying to express to you is that when we put on that mindset that we are the very essence of gratitude itself, that changes our makeup. It affects our thinking, it affects our body tempo, it affects our heart, our the way we engage life begins to be transformed. It absolutely begins to be transformed. It improves mental health. Your mental health will increase in its healthiness by, instead of waking up and just grabbing coffee and going unconscious, when you wake up and you go, oh, I'm awake. I'm awake. When you wake up and you've woken up from a bed. I don't care if your bed's comfortable or it's not comfortable. I have a bed. Oh, I have clothes to put on. Oh, I have food to eat. Oh, I have a job to go to. All of these things, these practices increase the beautiful spiritual viability of your essence, improve physical health, better sleep and immunity. Yes, yes, they say that, and in the science that it practices that practice increases that your health in that way. When we focus on what's possible instead of what's wrong, when we take this mind that hopefully we've cultivated through the application of the science of mind, and we've learned how to focus our attention on that which lifts us, our life is the aliveness in us is increased. The aliveness. So I want to take a moment to say thank you, by the way, to the network before I keep going on here. And I want to just say, New Thought Media, it is a worthy recipient of your generosity. By the way, they've done tests. They have done tests that when we choose to give to something, giving to that something increases I don't remember if it's the oxytocin, I'm forgetting right now, but the concept of actually giving and giving generously has a impact on the giver, not just the receiver. God knows if you want to increase the beauty and the joy in your life, give more. Give of yourself, give of your talents, give of your joy, give up your if you're a cook, give your food away. If you're a mechanic, help somebody with their car. If you are an author, write somebody a beautiful letter. Especially consciously going into this holiday season to activate greater good, give. And please make sure that New Thought Media Network is part of your giving, because they are doing so much behind the scenes. And I'm going to be rude for a minute. I'm going to go all Jersey on you for a minute. It's very possible that every day when you are watching these shows and the different programming, that you're not taking time to imagine all that goes into what it takes, not just the technology, the organization, the time and effort, the individuals, the producers behind the scenes. No, there is no private good. And when you realize there's no private good, you see the expansiveness of how we are in the world. It is a beautiful thing. So make New Thought Media Network part of your giving. I do. I do. My spiritual center does because we value their work. So I invite you to, and Reverend Robert, if you want to put that banner up, I'll see if I could find it real quick. The banner for I'll find it in a second. Oh, there he goes. He put it up there to donate on there and then give some money, especially with this holiday season. We're all leaning on each other, folks. I got to tell you. Um, the In one of the articles I read, it said the neural response could be the no, it was stronger in part. Oh, the test that they done was stronger in participants who had been assigned to keep a gratitude journal. So what they did is they had a bunch of people and they had people journal, and then they had people keep a gratitude journal specifically. And those who had the gratitude journal practice assigned to them had a greater response. And now when I say response, we're talking about, hooking people up to electrodes and watching their brain responses. They had a greater response and in the impact of gratitude. Now, I want to give you a couple things. I mean, everyone knows about having a gratitude practice. I think that's fairly common now. I know that Oprah is credited with it, but I think that Science of Mind ministers have been assigning that assignment for decades upon decades. But there's different ways to have this practice. I want to give you a little twist on one that I give when individuals are feeling a little less than full, or they're feeling a little uninspired about their own life, and if they're feeling not really when they're downing themselves. So, number one, yes, do a gratitude practice, because I can remember I was pregnant with my third son and divorcing, no money in my pocket, and feeling pretty miserable. And I remember having this thought, and I was already in Science of Mind, so my practices were already there. And I remember thinking to myself, there's got to be something. There's, there's, there's got to be something. But this is before I heard about Oprah. And so I remember going and I grabbed a book, smaller than this one, I think. And I started at night writing down the things I was grateful for. But one of the things I did in the morning when I woke up, I read them again. Why? Because when you go to sleep at night, your brain slips into the theta waves, okay, of consciousness. And so it's great to take that feeling of gratitude into your sleep. When you wake up, you read it again. Why? Because you wake up in that same state of brain waves. And so it brings the experience of gratitude from before sleep through the night and into the morning. Whatever you do, try to do it right before you go to sleep and before you wake up in the morning, because your brain is wide open at that point. It is like a sponge, and you want to pour into it beautiful, wonderful, valuable things. And I got to tell you, there's nothing better than a good old fashioned pen or pencil and paper. Why? Because now you've committed to this other, to just writing and having your body be part of the experience. Type it too if you want. That's fine. But practice. Okay. So here's the twist. If you're feeling a little despondent about life, take time, take time with this journal to write down whatever you found yourself doing right in that day. Now that's a pretty broad statement. So this is what I mean by that. If you made your bed, now I'm talking about really despondent. If you feel yourself, if you have a tendency toward depression, and that's something you have to stay aware of. Take time to write down, oh yeah, I made my bed. Oh, okay, yep, yep. I ate good food today. Oh, okay, yep. I got to bed earlier. Then in the morning, wake up, read it. The next day, do it again. And if you have to, if you if you are leaning toward depression, if this is something that and the world right now, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of depression. COVID is kind of exaggerated all these feelings that so many of us have. So you want to stay on this. Repeat the list. Repeat it. You don't even have to come up with something new. Take time to find your value. Take time to appreciate yourself. Take time to look in the mirror and go, oh, hi, beautiful. And mean it. Or fake it until you mean it. Fake it until you mean it. Remember, and I've said this many times, I'm sure other people have said it here, your brain does not know the difference between reality and imagined reality. So if you want to cultivate an activity inside of yourself that's good and sacred and creative, begin by imagining it. Okay. Oh, and I have something else for you too. But so number one, okay, begin to question everything. If you if you pick up a pencil to use, look at that pencil and wonder to yourself, hmm, where did this come from? Who made this pencil? Who formed it? How did I get it here? And no, it's not just because Staples sold it. Ponder the pencil. Value the pencil. You put food in your mouth. Ask yourself, wow, how did this food get here? And don't forget Mother Earth. Do not leave out Mother Earth. Begin to be grateful for all that is provided by nature. Okay, that's the first meditation I took you to. Number two, gratitude practice or a self-evaluation practice every night and every morning. Remember, do it before you go to sleep at night and when you wake up in the morning. And remember the reason why, okay? Because that's when your brain is most open and available, and we want to cultivate that feeling inside. Now, here's the third thing. Right now, right this second while you're listening to me, imagine something that you want to have happen in your life right now. Either something that you would like to acquire or an experience that you'd like to have happen right now as you're listening to me. What is that thing? What is it? Just, for me, uh, I'm about to take a trip to Mexico early in 2022. So for me, I would like to use my imagination right now to imagine that the vacation is glorious. I know that I'm going to go to Teotihuacan and bring friends to the pyramids, and I want to have a glorious experience, and I want to have my Spanish, the little tiny bit I have, be way expanded by then. So that's what I'm going to imagine. I'm going to imagine now. Right now, imagine that thing and think to yourself, what is your exclamation of appreciation? When you are appreciative of something that happened, what is your exclamation? If for me, it could be either, yes, being grateful. Oh, no, that's the name of the talk. For me, it could be either, oh, God, it's so good. Or it could be, oh, my God. Sometimes when things happen that are so wonderful, I go, oh, my God, with that whole sense of, wow, right? What is that feeling? What is the feeling with that statement? And begin to use that feeling with that statement more consciously, more of the time, and get your body into it. This is what I'm about to show you. Thank you. That's okay. But what activates the body is we say, oh my God, thank you. Oh my God. Oh, how glorious. I'm so appreciative. Thank you. Thank you to the radio station. Thank you to Reverend Robert. Thank you to life. Thank you to the sun that's shining. Thank you to the fall. Thank you to the breath in my body temple. Thank you to my heart for beating. And when you put the activity and the energy in your gratefulness, things will get churned up in a positive and powerful way inside of you. This is what we have learned through the science of mind. You are that which we create, right? Change your thinking, change your life. Of course, I altered that a few years ago, and I really believe it's change your thinking, pondering, imagining, feeling, change your life. It's the whole thing. But bring it together. Even your daydream. Monitor your daydreaming so that your daydreaming is filled with gratitude. And as you imagine things that are wonderful, put your body into it and go, oh my God, that's wonderful. Oh, I'm so thankful. Oh, isn't that great? Be gratitude. Be gratitude. You get that? So, unless there's questions or questions about the process, I'm going to take us into treatment. And I'm going to take us into a little bit more of an excited treatment than I might normally, because I just want you to experience it. So right now, I'm even going to say to you so you can leave your eyes open so you take it in through your whole being. There is a power and a presence and love. It is glorious. It is magnificent. It is life itself showing up in, through, and as each one of us. It is showing up in, through, and as myself, Reverend Robert, this radio station, and everyone listening. It is showing up as every individual walking this planet. It is showing up as every feathered friend and every ocean friend and every mammal, every rock, every tree. Everything is the full out expression of the one, and it is glorious. It is glorious in every way that it could be glorious. Oh my Lord, I am grateful. Grateful for life itself. Grateful for beauty. I'm even grateful for challenges. I'm even grateful when it's hard. I am. Because in that aliveness, it calls for me to rise up and be more. It calls for me to rise up and embrace my talents, my skills. It encourages me to be the more of me, the not yet expressed of me. It is a good, beautiful thing. It is holy. It is sacred. And as I choose to be gratitude, as I choose to be grateful, as I choose for that to be my beingness, I am assured that life is good. Life is good. Life is good. Life is so beautifully good. So for this and so much more, I am so grateful. With my faith and my conviction, activating good inside of me, I know that my good is your good because there's only one good. There is no private good. It is our shared good. I let this word be so with bountiful gratitude. And so it is. Thank you for being here today. May your holy season as it unfurls itself through Thanksgiving or whatever holiday and then whatever festival lights that you practice, because there's so many festivals of lights during the season. Remember to bring gratitude to everything. Greetings, Tracy Brown, the incomparable Tracy. Hello, darling. Remember to bring gratitude to it. It will multiply your good faster than anything you could possibly imagine. And a little favor to me, stay present to Mother Earth. Please stay present to she who leaves life available to us in the most stunningly beautiful ways. I love you. I thank you. Namaste. Have a glorious holy season. Be well.
Check it out. Thursdays, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, noon Eastern. A healthy dose of Jersey Girl wisdom. Live with Rev Jersey Girl. Sponsored by New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, for your continued support. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown Atlanta, for your monthly contribution. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, for your monthly contribution. And Suze Ajit, thank you for your very generous donation. And a special thanks to Hefferland Foundation for your generous technology grant. And a big shout out to all our committed donors.